Alright, that's what I was saying. If the winter solstice is December 22nd, six months from December 22nd, what it brings you to June. But here's the thing. They say that it was a month added. Like when I read ancient Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, it was speaking on how I think that was the book. Don't quote me on that. But I think that was the book. But it speaks on how when the white man and the Greeks and all that shit started taking over, they lost track of time and they added a month. See, even that shit don't even correspond. Or you can't even attribute that to the white man, because I'm gonna show you something. Now you take that, and even though they probably did do things to try to do what really you're supposed to do here. One of the things you're supposed to do here is, and I'm trying to say this because it's kind of sophisticated, but it was said that we lost track of time, and black people, and we one of the part of our redemption is catching up with time, or lining up with the right time. Now, time is based off of positionings of heavenly bodies, or basically, okay, time is basically based off of the earth revolving around the sun. So, in the winter solstice, that's when the sun, when the earth has rotated into a position in relation to the sun, where the sun sits below it, and on December 22nd is when the light from the sun will be shining straight through it, the top, and it'll shine through the top of the earth in the daytime. And this is what the Great Pyramid that will be sitting true north will be there to capture. But as if they even use that to capture that light. Probably go both ways, because it's also used to space travel and shit. That's a whole nother thing though. But really that shit is mimicking you. It represents a problem. Whatever the fuck they was doing with it. One thing I do know, two things for sure, you can find out through studying you. That's how I find out. That's why I'm telling you this shit is. When I say space station, I don't want you niggas thinking NASA and shit. It's symbolic, my nigga. Get you a spaceship. But I'm start telling niggas, get you a spaceship and play iCarly in that motherfucker repeatedly. That's a bomb ass song. Y'all just got the game fucked up. I ain't even dissing no other female MCs and shit when I say this, like Nicki and all them, cause I'm like the nigga that's gonna I'm like Big Bro. I know I'm a call the bullshit, even if I still it don't necessarily mean I don't I have a permanent disposition of the ill will towards you, some shit like that, or it's just that I respect any black woman out there picking the mic up, and that ain't nothing new. First and foremost, we need to stop acting like that's some new shit, because that is nothing new. I know y'all probably wondering what the fuck this guy do with anything, but it's everything flowing in order, because I said I was gonna start this Christmas thing off with the black woman, or ISIS. But that's Mary. But anyway, Uh, but it ain't. It's you know, some shit be corny, man. Niggas you gotta call corny shit. The world is have so much of a following mentality that anything they put up there and make and put you in a mind control to worship or not even, you know, give props to it. You think the cool shit is really getting. I don't want to get too deep in the rap shit, but I'm just saying y'all need to go. That I fucks with Shawty. That's old too. That song old, but that's a bomb ass song. I gotta speak on that song because that girl that was bad. I don't know who wrote it or if from what I hear, all the shit I heard from her so far, it don't seem like no ghostwriter shit going on because the whole mentality she reflecting is coming from a place. But I fucks with that, man. And I ain't gonna even get into it. I'm gonna let you niggas figure it out. Cause you'll hear it and say, oh man, this ain't Wu-Tang and shit. This ain't Scarface. Nah, this shit is some, that shit is some, yeah, that's the, and I'm gonna speak on that, man. But I ain't gonna even go all the way in. But shout out to Rico Nasty, man, cause she live. But anyway, so they saying this shit is off. They saying that what's off is not. What I think is the Great Pyramid isn't off. It's niggas time. The way you've been taught to interpret time. Time is an illusion anyway. But we use that shit as markers here, and that's just obvious. 7 o'clock, I gotta go to work. 8, I gotta get off. All that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why certain shit is time. Is real shit. You gonna always like it. But it needs a break. Everything needs a break. That's why I might like a song. I'm at a point now where if I like a song, I ain't gonna. There's so much shit out here. It's such a wide variety of shit. Just like with music, it's a wide variety of music. So why burn myself out listening to something I like and end up getting tired of burning out on the shit. But anyway, niggas, not niggas, but the world or whatever, however you want to see it. But the concept is not. You base where the summer solstice takes place at, or when it takes place, on the day that it lines right up with that pyramid. And if it's off, at least close, at least whatever degrees left or right, up and down or whatever, to that, and you have your summer solstice. That's what the pyramid is put there to symbolize. And then the summer solstice also symbolizes this shit. See, this is what I'm telling you niggas. This shit, so you might look at me and say, well, why, you know, some niggas might look and say, well, what is this gonna do for me? He breaking down Easter egg hunts and shit, and what I'm showing you niggas is all this shit that these holidays represent. And I ain't talking about the bullshit like Donut Day Tuesday and shit. All that new shit, they just making anything a holiday now. They trying to give you something to celebrate every day. National Cream Cake Day. All this old shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like you gotta watch that shit. Don't get wrapped up in that shit. You spend money, look. You spend money, just the quote unquote one of the jabs that Christmas takes. which is true too, because it's both sides. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's the thought that count. That shit means something. That don't mean I can do it, but I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna just tell my kids the thought. It's a thought that count, and I love them. Even though I can't go buy them Christmas gifts and all this old shit. It becomes a problem when one who doesn't have the means of providing that Christmas, the whole Christmas package, including the gifts and all that right there. Some people get depressed by that, and then some people go to means that they may or may not have under any of the circumstances. It'll draw them to do some things that and not just going out and robbing the motherfucker, working extra hours and shit at work that they really don't want to work, but they're gonna do it just so they can, you know what I'm saying, do their thing with the kids and shit. The Christmas spirit, that shit is real. I felt the shit before. I really realized the shit about 2 years ago. That's a thing. Don't let nobody confuse you. Tell you, man, you know, I know in the conscious arena, when you first come into conscious, or you go on YouTube or whatever, you trying to get in, every speaker, not every, you know, the elders and shit, you know, they know the real deal. But like the new wave, more so. And when I say new wave, I'm talking about niggas like motherfuckers that came after, I say Panic and Bobby. I'm not constricting everything to them, but it's like from what I see, it was like you had Brother Phil, you had Bobby and Brother Phil Valentine. And it was like them the niggas that, you know, them two niggas are the ones I'd point to and say, yeah, they be kicking the shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't with the frills and shit. Cause a lot of shit be frills. And then you had Panic. Was like he came from the Bobby Hemmett thing. You know what I'm saying? And Brother Phil, it's both of them are advanced metaphysicians. Metaphysicians. But you had Panic, and then you had like after that, everything just started. You had niggas that came up listening to Bobby, seen them in lectures and shit, and these same niggas after stroke and all that, and stroke ain't even got no big deal about it. You can look at it how you want to look at this shit, but you had niggas who had been saluting Bobby for years, but then when he has the stroke, you had niggas bigging him up, but them niggas was starting to say shit that Bobby wouldn't promote. So I'm like, well, hold on, man. If you came up around Bobby, and these niggas was around you at the lectures and all that shit, I'm like, if you really fuck with Bobby work, why you say that? Or why you say this? Because some shit just, you know, when niggas start saying shit like, it ain't about reading books, that's when it's like, oh, well, hold up, nigga. Bobby would, man, nigga probably wouldn't talk to you no more. You told me some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But, see, that's, I don't want to, I'm getting off course and shit, man, but, that's what I was saying. Everything that came after that was like, that shit was weird. There's a bunch of weird niggas saying some weird shit. Everybody is entitled to their own scientific analysis of this shit, but it's certain shit that's just certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if, like I said, a nigga say one thing and it be like, oh no, and not just, it'll go from him not, you know, if I see niggas saying they fuck with this nigga and they study and they on his science or whatever, why the fuck you start saying the total opposite? That shit is weird. So anyway, when you come into that thing though, the YouTube conscious scene or whatever you want to call that shit, you gonna hear, that's what you gonna hear. When the holidays come around, niggas gonna be bashing that shit. The devil's holiday, we represent the man's holiday. All you people Christmas shopping on the Grinch shit. When all that shit represent a process that takes place within you. And you can learn that shit by studying the fucking physical world around you, because this shit is a manifestation of you. The physical shit that you see all around you is that's why I can show you how the rise of the sun and the moon corresponds to the rise of Kundalini energy and all that shit, because this shit is just another version of you. But you caught up in trying to make a living here. And I'm not saying it in the sense of bashing, because we all get caught up in this bullshit. But you gotta learn how to pursue your financial thing, but at the same time understanding or being of the, at least of the mind state. You don't have to sit down and well, you have to, but really it get to a point where you can study so much. Then it's about the mind. That's like me. I can read about 4 paragraphs out of something and pull out some extravagant shit. You know what I'm saying? But you really have to more so become of the psychology of our ancestors. That's why it's not about no fucking who can put the best Heru outfit on Halloween and shit. It's about the fucking mind, man. And people just really don't really seem to get it. But so anyway, let me stop ranting though, man, because I don't want to get too far off track and shit, man. But yeah. So but anyway, it becomes a negative state when but that's the individual's choice to have an orientation towards that situation like that. Not saying it's not gonna have it shouldn't have a saddening effect or whatever, of course, but you can't let that drive you. That's when you become geeked out. You don't let that drive you to when you feeling like you just want to die and all that shit. We can get them next year, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, put that shit to work. But the Christmas spirit, that's real shit. No bullshit. Unless y'all want to blame it on the Illuminati and say they sprayed some type of happy feeling chemicals in the air that day. I felt the shit. We can go there with it. So, you know how niggas is. Niggas gonna get a Illuminati. All the motherfucking credit. And the real Illuminati is niggas. Naughty head niggas. Illuminati heads. And ain't no, I don't know no some white man somewhere with gifts telling me information and shit. All this shit I know was for me and study. And I ain't a part of no motherfucker. I ain't have to get initiated or nothing. None of that shit. This shit comes from the divine mind. The source, which I am the source. I am the Father of one. That's the F the shit means. That's what I'm expressing to you by showing you all this shit. I ain't, yeah, you know, I like, you know, on, you know, everybody's a goddamn is Illuminati. The whole world. Soon as you become a known person, they gonna attach that shit to you. You know what I'm saying? Just like every motherfucking entertainer is not a fucking Illuminati puppet. Cause you look at these YouTube videos, every motherfucker alive rapping in music is a conspiracy. And even if it's, and most of the motherfuckers just have or use and don't know they're being used for the quote unquote nefarious shit these people do. They don't even know. So you niggas around, oh, he's Baphomet. He's the Baphomet Mafia. That's my squad, the Baphomet Mafia, nigga. Because that shit don't represent them with the black man. The woman, excuse me. So, in the Baphomet will be making his appearance tonight. And it's or whenever I get to that sector. Because Baphomet is the GOAT. The GOAT is Capricorn. Capricorn is what? That's when Christ was born. December 25th. So, the Christmas in July thing. So let's just say, let's play with this concept of adding a month. December to January, January to February, February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June. That's a 6-month transition. That's 6 months, that's the passage of 6 months. But let's just say you take away a month. If you take one away a month and everything shifts backwards, July would be the 6th month. So, cause I think the month they said that was added was February, and that would make sense because February is an inconsistent day, and when you're dealing with the whole thing of the offset of things or the off balance of things, that's what you're dealing with. You deal with an inconsistency. So, so you can take a day away. The summer solstice would be July 22nd. The winter solstice is 3 days before Christmas. Christmas, birth of Christ. So, the ancestors did believe in inconsistency. Not on no stupid shit. The inconsistency just represents the different measurements of it just represents the many different elements or that it takes to make the one. So the inconsistency would be, you got pancake mix, eggs, milk. That's inconsistency. I don't just have pancake mix. I have pancake mix, I have eggs, and I have milk. That's 3 different things. But they all combine to make the one, which is the pancake or whatever. So now, so let's just say they did add a month, or let's see where the money came from. Now, you have Easter, Isis. You have Osiris. You have, excuse me, I'm gonna give them to y'all in order. 1, is Osiris. 2 is Nephthys. 3, that's Sut and Heru. That's 2. That's the 3. One of the aspects of 3 speaks to the duality between Sut and Horus. The middle point, if you used to draw 3 dots in a line, the middle point would be the reconciliation of the 2. And then you would have a dot on one side and a dot on the other side of the middle dot, which would one dot on the middle side, on the left of the middle side, 1 dot on the right of the middle dot, and then you have the middle dot in the center. That symbolizes the contingency between Horus and Set. 3 is the divine number. 3 is the seed. You take it back to the gods and earth. Supreme mathematics. 3 is the understanding. That's the star. That's the seed. That's the child, the baby, the kids. So basically, 3 is representing is the baby. When you're a baby, you draw down your soul into your physical body or whatever. You draw down your soul into your physical body from the cosmos. But just because you draw that shit down doesn't mean that it's your time to become God or reach your full potential, because you God by nature, you divine by nature. But your plight comes in at, or your battle is recognizing that and convincing yourself to the point to where your life line up with that. So ain't no faking this shit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either able to do this shit and understand it, or you'll be doing do-overs. That's a whole other story. Just like when you flunk 4th grade, you gotta take the motherfucker again. That's what you be doing as a human. Doing human shit. Or staying ensconced in human shit, because we all do human shit. But, so, that would, the adding of the month would correspond with the inconsistency of the offset pyramid. And even the arrangement of the pyramids, they say the Great Pyramid sits like a little bit further back than the other 2 or something like that, but it's offset. But I don't think that the Great Pyramid, I think the Great Pyramid is right where True North is at. Matter of fact, it has to be, because when the sun is in a position in relation to the earth, to where the earth is above it, with the sun at night, because what happens at nighttime is that's when the sun is exposed. See, when we wake up in the morning, you see the star in the you see the sun in the sky, right? So let's just talk about winter. Winter is when you'll see the sun. Like right now, you go outside, the sun gonna rise like more towards right above, like right straight over your head. But then when you look at the sun in the winter, you have to look to the south sky and see it go from the east to west. So, but when it goes down or sets, it's like the earth turned its back. So we looking at the sun in the southern sky in the middle of the day, we facing the sun. But then when the sun goes down, because we spin it, we spin it counterclockwise or whatever. So when the earth turns its back on the sun is behind it and under it. What the summer solstice represents is a direct line of the sun, or Sirius, because that's the sun. That's where all this should come from. That's where the true light come from. The sun, because during the summertime, when the sun sets, it goes below the earth. It's almost as if Sirius is the sun is down here, but you can't see it because it's beneath you. And then you see Sirius, and it's like Sirius is right over the sun, but you don't see the sun because the sun is under the horizon line of the earth. So what you would have is the Great Pyramid is where the backbone of Osiris is located at. That pole going up into the pyramid represents the spine going up into the pyramid, which is you got two different pyramids, two ways you can look at it. You can look at it as the pineal gland sitting in the middle, the left hemisphere of the brain, and the right hemisphere of the brain. That's three. Three corresponds to the triangle. The triangle is a shape, form of three. So the triangle was three itself too. So you can see it's synonymous with three. 1, 2, 3, 3 points. So that pole in the earth represents the backbone of Osiris, and your body represents your spine. The top layer, which is where we're at, that symbolizes the top of the brain or whatever, or the head. It represents the head. So Egypt is the head in. They see this is Africa, period, really. But Egypt is where shit came to a head at, because they say Egypt, everybody that the land was so fertile and the food was so abundant that it attracted people from everywhere. So even the native Africans was coming from other parts of Africa in the rearing of Kemet, and bringing their mythologies and the way that they broke down the same story that you know as Egyptian, just different names of different characters, but all these characters represent the same principles that the characters in the Egyptian version represent. And even Heru, they say they have stellars and shit that predate Kemet, that we know about. The most common knowledge about Kemet, or this quote unquote era where all of the strong shit came out, because they done took so much shit. You might have some shit from 1 million years ago somewhere. That's the shit they really yeah, that's the shit. You ain't going to see that shit in the Louvre. Yeah, oh, no sir, we'll give you this statue. But you know what I'm saying? You ain't sure what the fuck these motherfuckers done got, man, because they done a whole bunch of shit, Tomb Raid and all that old shit. But they have shit. They say they had stellars of Heru, which is a Kamite god, the Kamite Christ. They got stellars of him that go back, so that they found in southern Africa, Sudan and shit. So it ain't. We are worldwide, world-class people. So that's what that represents. The head, the center of the earth, I say the backbone of Osiris. That's the pole, the North Pole. The North Pole is Kemet. They say the Great Pyramid had limestone on it at first, and they say that the Arabs came and broke it, took all the limestone and built Cairo. That shit is some occult shit. I don't know if the motherfucking Arabs did what or what, but that shit corresponds to what I was telling y'all the other day in that other video about the ice cap. That's the moon. See, Pluto is the moon. You know, that's why they tell you Pluto, they say some shit about Pluto was going away or left, or it's not in the solar system. Some old shit they said. No, what they really was telling you was Pluto is the moon. So, and that shit makes most sense. I don't want to get to that, but Pluto is the moon, but we rocking on it. It's like it's called I think cold fusion, some shit like that. It's the ice cap shell. See, that's the ice. When they talk about the ice age was. See, you think of the ice age, you just think about some niggas cold somewhere. Now the ice age was a moment in evolution before it was even niggas owning this motherfucker, physical bodies and shit. That shit represent a process we went through before we even had spiritual or physical bodies and shit. Because the physical body, it always has existed within the spirit realm without a physical. Everything you see has whether, put it like this, melanated souls or souls that are melanated. They existed a long time ago. Would you put it like this? Cause the concept of a physical body has its origins in a completely spiritual version of that. You get what I'm saying? Before all this shit came into fruition, before we made the copy of ourselves, this physical world is a reflection of you. So, fuck was I going with that? Anyway, the cold fusion thing. Yeah, the cold fusion. Yeah. So when for one, take it to Christmas, snow and all that shit. Snow corresponds to Christmas, not just based on the fact that winter is when it snows and shit. That whole process of winter being what makes winter is the feminine aspect of the physical. And this is what I mean by that. There's a difference between gender and sex. Gender refers to energy. Sex refers to a human that could either be male or female, man and woman. When you're dealing with the physical, that's when you're dealing with sex. Real sex is that's why when niggas be like, oh, the black woman is my God, they say it as if, or worshiping a God outside yourself, or anything like that. But I'm just using this as an example. These niggas be like, well, the black woman is my God. Well, nigga, your God ain't old enough. The blackness is the God, nigga. Because the black woman is just a physical reflection of feminine energy. Sex falls under gender. Sex is dependent on man, woman. Gender is the energy that is behind the masculine force. in feminine force. It's the shit you can't. You can't. It's endless. It ain't. You can say that. You can sit here and talk about what that shit is forever. So, that shit was, the Ice Age was a explanation of evolution of us, or devolving. And if you want to be honest about it, the fall of the fall of that's why when they talk about the devil falling from heaven and all that old shit, that ain't nothing but even that story represents you. Christ, and that, which, like I said, I'm gonna break this shit down right here, show y'all niggas this shit through math, numbers and shit. But that shit ain't nothing but one of the scenes from the movie of The Fall. And that ain't a real movie. They probably do have a movie called The Fall, but I'm talking about the fall of the spiritual energy into a physical situation. That was one of the levels. And when we shook out of that, the return of that heat blew the ice shell off what would evolve to be this physical earth that we walk around as physical people. It blew the shell off that, and the moon ended up being in a position to the earth to where it'll serve as a satellite and control water. Why? Because this water is ice. They don't tell you the moon is ice. They tell you Pluto is ice. But no, the moon is ice in a position where it can receive light. At the same time, this light won't melt the ice. So it's in a perfect position. You know, if anybody disagree, you can debate with yourself. Or tell me some shit I might not know. I don't know. But this what my study is showing me. So let's go right here. Some about Isis. It is especially fitting that a study of Hermetic symbolism should begin. No, I ain't gonna read. I don't want to. Let me. Because basically, what Isis represents is the dark energy. The black woman is the magnum opus of speaking within the context of physicality. She's the magnum opus of creation. But even that is nothing to, you celebrate it too, but it's a flip side to that. And the flip side is the hidden father, the Amen-Ra. That's the hidden God, the hidden son. It's always there. So I'm trying to put this in a way to where it don't come off like I'm saying that, because both sides have flaws. That's the world has flaws. That's really what I was trying to tell y'all about the Kamites. They put flaws, or they you would think that they contradict themselves in a lot of shit that they say and do, but they've done that to express the complexity of life itself. You know, this shit is not, if I say you have to be of the psychology of the Kamites, because what they understood was, I don't know it all. And they did know it all. Flip side to this shit. On one hand, you have to have the desire to learn as if you don't know nothing. But everything came from you, so you do know everything, because you are everything. But you just have to explore it. And it ain't about, it's whatever you have to be more exposed to things. It's like, one hand, you're supposed to challenge yourself. and take on new hobbies and cultivate an interest in things outside the normal of what you've been doing is what you've been doing, especially after about, after a certain amount of time. And not saying you have to do away with the old things you do, but sometimes you have to find new things to do to put you in another dimension or state of mind. Because doing the same thing over and over attracts you in a circle of time. You're not going to. If all you ever do is go to work and come straight home, you're not going to really learn nothing because you're not being exposed to different pockets of life. All this shit is supposed to stimulate you. You're supposed to have an inquisitive mentality towards all this, just the world. Period. That's how you learn. When you subconsciously become inquisitive. Not saying you gotta figure everything out, but you're supposed to have an inquisitive mind. But the whole concept of the contradictions, quote unquote contradictions within, because you're supposed to reconcile the shit. That's when you separate the chunks from the monks. When niggas start doing that. You know what I'm saying? Well, what this has to do with that? Oh, this is that, this is this. It's two different things, but it's not. Why? And it sounds crazy as fuck, but no, that's what the realization of this shit is. The physical world represents the land of contradiction. Your job here is to reconcile that. And not saying you have to reconcile every fucking thing, but I'm saying you have to have that mentality where you can do that and balance shit out. You have to be able to be the debate or be in a conflict with somebody else and look at what you're doing, look at what they're doing as if you're just an honest judge. So the contradictions basically is an expression of the contradiction of the physical world, because the physical world is a physical world, but that's the illusion. The real world is being projected from something that's within the illusion or within the physical body. The thought process or idea or energy that this shit runs off of, the highest form of it is imperceivable by the eyes of the two physical eyes. You have to see that with the part of you that is truly of that energy. See, lightning, you can see that energy because that's low frequency. That's why they used, when Zeus destroyed the Titans, the lightning bolt. The Titan symbolizes the melody. The lightning symbolizes the shock of the lowering of the vibration, the lowering of the light vibration into a lightning bolt. Or lightning, because lightning is a low form of energy. Electricity is a low form of energy. It's that's why you can see it. The true light, you can't see it with your physical eyes. The true light is the light within you. That's why when the striking of the Titans and breaking them into pieces with the lightning bolt represented the physical world, which is nothing but electrical impulses. Giving you the perception that everything is divided, separated, when all this shit is held together by a common point that's hidden. So, with the electrical impulses, it's just that, electrical impulses. They are, when you see something, you're seeing electrical impulses being sent to your brain through your mind or through your eyes. And your mind is what makes your agreement to the fact that, oh, that's a Walmart right there, makes it real or whatever. But the electrical impulses is bringing down that, the things you see on the outside of yourself are a copy of the true So you, like you say, you build a house. The house is just a copy of the real house that you had in your mind before you built it. The ideal is realer than the actual physical manifestation of it, because the physical manifestation is just a reflection of something that came from the mind, the subconscious mind, or the hidden place. So the black woman is great. It's not a knock or a diss. This is just saying you have to look at both sides of the fence. Women are more materialistic than men because materialism falls under the feminine principle. You did. We have to get lower and lower into the or more. When we lean more towards the feminine aspect of everything, that's when we descend into physical forms of bodies. And the bodies are just reflections of the real. They blind you. The physical world blinds you to the real. That's why this shit is called unveiling ISIS. So when you start to be able to look at something and know it and break it down, that's when you take the skirt off. You unveil it. And that's why I can take a physical event and show you the spiritual aspect of it. That's called unveiling ISIS. You gotta get your pineal gland pumping up. Do that. That's why I say ain't no faking this shit. This shit it's levels to this shit. You know, but at the same time, on the flip side, if you look at the receptivity thing, receptivity is also, that would be like a counterbalance to the materialistic thing. The receptivity, that's a characteristic of the feminine energy. See, the feminine is gender, woman is sex. So when a nigga say feminine, I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about an aspect of both man and woman that just so happens to predominantly, that just so happen to predominates the physical woman. That's what makes a woman a woman. The fact that she's predominated by the feminine energy, but she has both in her. So it's not about. That's why I say I can always see where shit is going. It's like you can't take women standing up against male chauvinism and use that as an excuse to go against your counterpart. You call that shit out, but you don't develop a mentality where it's fuck all niggas, or you always studying a nigga trying to see where he's right and where he's wrong at, and vice versa. You studying a chick, you know, it go both ways, but we dealing with the feminine aspect of this shit. It's not about grandstanding. Everybody has their place. It's not the black woman is over everything. And when these niggas say it, that's what they'll make you think. They'll make you think. And that's mind control, because now you worshiping every motherfucker with a pussy. And some of them motherfuckers don't know one from two. But they still divine by nature, but they don't know. So that's even worse. A motherfucker don't know who he is. But it's not about putting the woman over the man or the man over the woman. This shit is about fucking balance. So anyway, I was just talking about how the moon was ice and shit. Now the moon is symbolic of the woman. The moon falls under the category of the feminine gender, the gender class femininity. The moon falls up under that because the moon is receptive. The moon, that's what the mirror symbolizes. One of the symbols of Isis is the mirror. The mirror symbolizes the reflection of the real. So looking at the shit through, if you put on human goggles, you would say, I'm real. And when I look in the mirror, that shit ain't real. Because I'm right here. That's just a reflection of me in that mirror. On the God level, your body is just a mirror or a reflection of your soul. So, but the mirror and the moon, they're all symbols of reflection, because the light, the moon doesn't reflect its own light. It's a ball of ice that just so happened to, it can sustain its state of being frozen and sustain heat, the degrees of heat that meets with the moon and whatever phase it is, and wherever the earth is at in its traverse around the sun. The moon is able to still remain itself and remain ice and receive that sun energy that it does, whatever amount of sun it takes at whatever time, without melting. Cold fusion, hot ice. Now ice, the moon corresponds to the woman, because it all that falls under the same category of feminine, and ice as well, because ice represents a decrease in degree of so like you take water, you boil it, you steam it, the vibration of the steam is still the water, it's just vibrating at so much of a high level, it's not as tangible as the water, it's misty. You have the water, but if you cut the eye off and the water stop bubbling and steaming and cool off, the water that's left is the water that didn't steam up. That water dropped in degrees. And if you take that water, put it in the freezer, it would freeze. It would get colder, drop in degrees, and become more physical, or more coagulated, or taking more of a solid physical state. And you have to go further and further, or deeper and deeper into the negative, because the positive represents the masculine, the feminine is represented by the negative. The negative is not evil within itself. The negative is representing the receptive principle of life. The abyss, the depths. So the light had to descend into that the same way that the sperm descends into the womb of a woman in order to start the birthing process. And but you have to wake up, but the light has to wake up within this process that it goes through and descend into physical reality. And remember, it's the light. You have to have your own light. The sun represents the collective light of everything, but you have to have a sun within you, your own light, your own guide, so that you can remember that you're in the dark, because life is the darkness. The physical life within a soul within a physical body, that represents the light and the dark. You have light within you. You have to mine that light from out of your melanin through study and education. And that's the real alchemy right there. So you might be studying, let's just say you studying Jupiter or some shit. You could be studying Jupiter, and the whole while, whatever organ in your body corresponding to Jupiter, you fuck around and be healing yourself just by reading about Jupiter, because you read about yourself. You read about another part of you. Whatever organ that Jupiter corresponds to, you learning about that. So you reading and learning about your shit, waking up that part of you, not even knowing that shit. You reading the book, and by you reading it, even if you don't know that Jupiter is corresponding to whatever part of the body it corresponds to, just by you sitting there reading that shit and getting it and making an effort to understand what this shit is saying, that shit, that's the level